Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Feud Season 2, Episode 6. Capote vs. The Swans recap. Going out of style. We must discuss the F word. It's used so extensively in this one feud, Capote vs. The Swans episode, in fact, that even with such kind censorship, we fail to fully understand what we or the Swans and Capote really mean when we use such a phrase. Curiously, this disparaging phrase for homosexual men is at the core of another notorious quarrel between Capote and others. It is, in Lee's words, just two fags fighting. The two fags in question are Gore Vidal and Truman Capote, a ghostly presence everywhere, unseen and unheard. Capote's incessant drinking and his fondness for becoming a court jester on primetime television are the causes of their rivalry. It's evident that his drinking has started to impact all of his relationships. Although Kate Harrington, née Karyoshi Elabidi, may find it amusing to dress her up like one of his swans, the young aspiring model is becoming more and more worried about her new father figure getting wasted. A feeling echoed by Richard Avedon Jeffrey Grover, who chastises Capote for allowing it all to get to him after removing all Truman had done to make Kate seem matronly to genuinely look like Babe and taking some amazing portraits. But all Truman hears is Avedon encouraging Kate to dance for his camera, saying, "Youth is movement," with a smile on her face. And so Truman does, attempting to reclaim some of his youthful exuberance and flair at Studio 54 with CZ, who isn't quite as into the whole thing no place to sit. Nevertheless, an increasingly inebriated Capote has realized that, despite his literary career taking a hit, he is still a well-known figure. Vidal enters the picture with a really enjoyable one that the American audience fully likes on their television screens and on chat programs. Capote shares a particularly graphic story about the Hollywood and the city and the pillar novelist during one of those interviews. It was actually a Playboy interview. The story revolves around his being expelled from a 1961 White House event for intoxicatingly touching then First Lady Jackie Kennedy. The encounter alone is humiliating for a writer from the wealthy political elite. The fact that it is being revealed by another homosexual writer whom he has long hated is a bridge too far. Vidal files a lawsuit against Capote. If the person who told Capote the tale came forward, the issue could be resolved, but they wouldn't consider it. Lee, who is obviously very resentful of Truman, chooses to act as if she had never heard of her sister's tale, much alone relayed it. She tells the other swans that she would prefer not to get involved. "There are just two fags fighting," Lee says sarcastically. And Claes Sevigny was made to say it. "We owe them a modicum of respect, the homosexuals, I mean." It's the sentence that makes CZ respond. She's speaking with Babe, who may be somewhat persuaded by CZ's viewpoint, but who also recognizes that both men and women, including themselves, are in a difficult situation. When allyship conceptions were obviously shifting in the late 1970s, possibly too quickly for the folks shown in Feud, this was a hot topic of conversation. You need go no further than The Faggots and Their Friends Between Revolutions, a 1977 graphic novel come manifesto by Larry Mitchell and Netta Sta, which drew out the highly problematic connection between males, faggots, and women, among other things. At one point it says, the women did not trust the faggots for 1,000 years. They would let the faggots style their hair in intricate, lovely patterns. They would let them have soft textiles and carved wood around their homes. At their gatherings, they would let them to perform music. However, they could not trust males, thus they did not have faith in the faggots, as they only knew them as men. Feud is making this point. The delicate relationship between fey homosexual guys like Truman and gorgeous women like Babe or CZ serves as the foundation for the whole story. By the tacit and yet rigidly maintained amity that seems to have existed, and maybe still does, between these two social groupings, whose predilection for the shallow, the vapid, or the feminine in general is unnecessarily suppressed by society at large. As they go to purchase gloves, Feud nudges us to observe how stupid Babe and CZ are, and Capote correctly notes that he may have been seen as nothing more than an accessory, a pretty fluffy Pomeranian, no less. The key to recognizing how the falling out between Capote and his friends truly heralded a shift in power and style is to grasp the way sexism and homophobia are intertwined in their conflict. Thank you for watching.